Now, people often ask us on our birthday, do you feel any different today? You're a year older. Do you feel any different? Those of you who attend Mass at this parish will know that 3 weeks ago it was Father Michael's birthday. And actually, this is the second time today that his birthday has been mentioned, because, of course, Mass at 11 o'clock this morning was offered for his birthday intentions. And so some of you may have asked him, "Look, Father Michael, you're 21 now. Do you feel 21? Do you feel any different?" If you had have said that, then I'm sure you would have made his day. And he's directing this Mass on the computer, so I hope I get a few brownie points for that. But obviously, the answer each time is no. We don't feel any older on our birthday. Now, we may have woken up this morning, Easter Sunday, and we may have felt a bit like that. It's Easter Sunday, we may have thought, but we're still in the middle of this coronavirus pandemic. We're still in lockdown. I still am isolated. I'm still not seeing my family or friends in the flesh. And no, nothing has changed in that regard. But today we celebrate the fact that God is greater than any of that. Today, yes, we're still in that situation, but we look at that situation with a renewed hope, because God is greater. God is more powerful than this pandemic or than anything that life can throw at us, because he has conquered the most powerful enemy that we have, death. Today, we celebrate the hope that we are not isolated from the Lord, because Jesus has broken through our isolation from God. We just heard the gospel account of the disciples on the road to Emmaus. Now, it may not have been an obvious choice for today. It's an option for this evening. And I felt drawn to it, I guess, because it shows the transformation that can happen, the transformation that comes from the encounter with the risen Lord Jesus, and a transformation that is open to us as well. At the beginning, the disciples are sad. We hear that their faces are downcast, they're subdued, they're depressed. But at the end, they're running back to Jerusalem full of joy to proclaim the good news. At the beginning, listen to their words. Our hope had been that he would have been the one to set Israel free. They've lost all hope. They're in despair. And in fact, we can hear them when they say, do you not know the things that have been happening these last few days? We can almost hear them saying that about this pandemic. Have you not heard about this virus that is isolating people, that is killing people? But at the end of the gospel, everything has changed. They're transformed. They're full of hope. Did not our hearts burn within us as he talked to us on the road? As human beings, what is it that causes us ultimately the most fear? It's death. It's the annihilation, so it seems, of our being. Often our human fear can tell us that death is stronger than anything, that nothing can overcome it. And in fact, if we think about it, the reason that this COVID-19 pandemic is causing us such sorrow and upheaval is because it's causing people suffering and death. All these measures that are being put into place are measures to stop people suffering and, in the worst case scenario, to stop them dying. Now, there's a verse in the Song of Songs, a book of the Old Testament, that goes, love is strong as death. Now, we could even say love is stronger than death, because that's what we celebrate today. In the Easter mystery, love has become stronger than death. Jesus has gone to that place that causes us the most fear, that place we don't feel we can overcome, that place that seems like the ultimate enemy of humankind. And by the power of his love, he has conquered it. He has won, because he is risen from the dead. So what does this mean for us concretely? Well, in a few moments we will renew our baptismal promises, a wonderful privilege we get at Easter. And in baptism we share, we participate in Jesus' life, including his victory over sin and death and all those things that resemble death in our lives. And therefore he walks with us, just as he walked, just as he came up by the side of the disciples on the road and walked with them. So if Jesus has conquered, then we too have the power, trusting in his love and through him, to conquer any situation we find ourselves in. There's a tradition in our faith, although not particularly well known and not scriptural, that possibly Our Lady may have been the first person that Jesus appeared to after his resurrection. Our Lady was the one who shared, I guess, most intimately in his life, who allowed him to walk that road with her. And so she's the one who can most help us to allow Jesus to walk with us, to open up our hearts for him to enter in and to lead us. So what we celebrate today, no, it doesn't take away the coronavirus pandemic. And remember, to get here to Easter Sunday, Jesus had to go through his passion on Good Friday. And of course, I'm by no means trivializing this pandemic. It's a reality, a terrible reality that we face at the moment. But what we're saying is that neither it nor anything else that can touch us in this world can have the last word. That's why you may have heard the Queen's speech yesterday, in which she says, now we need Easter more than ever, and we will overcome this pandemic, she said. We need Easter more than ever because of the hope that it gives us. Easter doesn't take away death, all those things that we may sometimes get overwhelmed by in this life. But what we celebrate today gives us that tremendous hope, because Jesus Christ has overcome anything that can happen to us in this world. St. Paul, in I think it's his letter to the Romans, I'm not too sure about that, says, nothing can take us away from the love that is given to us in Jesus Christ. That love is stronger than death. That love has overcome death. That love has conquered any evil that we can come across in this life. And in that love, Jesus will lead us, not bypassing suffering and death, but going through it to life eternal with God our Father. That is what it means to say that Jesus Christ is risen from the dead.